by the time I got to WWE, as you guys are well aware, it was such a shitstorm of WCW guys and the quote unquote heat and the locker room etiquette and all that stuff. I just wanted to freaking wrestle, boys, and so I was in the ring with everybody and anybody. And they
did you feel a little bit of that political backlash, or maybe a little bit of in the dressing room you weren't wanted or something like that, or no?
I never got. I'll be honest. I never got that because I understood from the word go. And we've all been there. The three of us have been there. When we got to WWF at the time, you're going into a locker room of 60 guys who are now fearing for the jobs because here come 20 guys walking in off the street, right?
Right.
So if you're worth your salt and you have any professionalism, whatever that means to people, but you go in, you put your bag to the side, you say hello, you sit quiet and you do what you're supposed to. You be on time, and we just didn't have that. We had guys who were. They were names. They were over where they came from, and so as it was coming, and I say this honestly, I got the heads up, like, hey, Bill, this guy's a shithead. We're not going to deal with him too much longer. You can decide which side of the tracks you want to be on. So
you're the trainer now. How were you like when the guy's first? You see a guy his first day tryout, whatever something. How many I'm a pretty good judge of character, but from meeting people,
he's not.
100% am. So that's
not.
Very disrespectful. Okay,
and
so
let me tell you another thing. I didn't want to be impolite, Bill, because I'm a polite dude. But when he said that he's giving wrestling classes, bringing underage guys to your hotel room to grapple in an amateur singlet is not training.
That's not true. Okay, but that's absolutely not true. Okay, here's a question. Here's a question for you, Bill. How are you at judging talent from like how many guys like to walk in the first day and you go like, I guarantee this guy's not. His heart is not in it. He's going to fail. And how many guys like walked in and say this guy's heart's not in it and he proves you wrong? Like what? Give me if you don't mind. Can you give me some names that you felt you were right on and names that you felt you were wrong on?
For me, the first and the big thing now, what we did when I started and what they still do now for WWE is they have the 3-day camps. For me, the first hour of the first day, I'll pretty much tell you if the guy's or girl's going to make it, has it, wants to be there, or is going to fail.
Right.
I'll tell you a guy who really, really surprised me. Because of his quirkiness. This guy's kind of like you, Glenn. He's kind of Sami Zayn is kind of cut from the same cloth as you but he's an awkward guy, and he was set. And he's very socially awkward, so you didn't know how to take him. So everything was resistance, and everything was questioned. But he didn't, as you get to know him, he didn't question it because he questioned you. Like, he really had to decipher the whole thing and really understand instead of just go and, let it happen. He's a guy who proved me wrong. And then I have to say, unfortunately, I'm about 99% right every time.
Let me ask you a question. What happened with Eli Drake?
Eli Drake.
Sean Ricker.
Love Sean Ricker. Love him.
Well, yeah, bro, I can't. What happened? Because, bro, this guy worked at the indie shows here and stuff, and like I'm like right off the bat, I was like, well, okay, this guy checks all the boxes. He can talk, he can work. So what happened to him there?
But let me tell you, the biggest box that he checks off for Glenn, he's hot. So that's really the whole thing.
See, he's very disrespectful.
Because he looks good, that's the biggest check box.
Yeah.
He could talk too. He just came. He carried himself like a star. Like he didn't carry himself as like an indie guy.
Glenn wants to know why he didn't make it. Why didn't he? Because he is talented.
Right. What happened with him there?
He's talented all day long, and here's why he didn't make it. He didn't want to play by the playbook that was put in front of him.
Right.
What is that playbook?
Teddy Hart went through the same thing. Right.
Here's your schedule. Now that you're getting paid $65,000 a year to be in the same building every day, to learn from someone, to take advantage of the opportunities, and not buck the system. Like, you have to get in the door and play by that playbook first until you prove yourself, and then they give you the ball and let you run with it. You've been there, dog. I know you've been there. You've had to prove yourself over and over again, and that's one talented. Ricker is a talented son of a gun. I've talked to him on occasion, still text message back and forth. I thought he was great. I never had any issues with him. Just play the, here's the thing. He's a grown man. He knows what he's capable of doing, and he wanted more. and it got frustrating for him to feel like he was in a wrestling factory. You know what I mean?
Right. Still training. Right. Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Give me an example of like an indie darling that came in there that everybody and their mother on the like the internet fans and everything were praising, and that guy didn't like he failed because of his own fault, like the same type of situation.
Cassius Ohno.
What happened to him?
The first time he was there, another great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
Knows what he's doing. Didn't want to change his look.
Right.
Nobody said get chiseled. Nobody said grow 2 feet. Nobody said cut your hair. Just tighten it up and look like a man who can fight.
Did you have that same issue with Kevin Owens at one point?
No, I never had that issue with Kevin Owens. That's just, I think someone, and let's be honest, how is Bill Demott going to have an issue with someone looking
right?
Yeah, but yeah. But I mean, but bro, as a trainer though.
Yeah, that's like with Mike Graham.
But here's the thing though, as a trainer.
Let me say real quick, Bill. That's like when Mike Graham used to call Rey Mysterio short shit. And I was, what are you talking about, bro? You're like the same fucking height.
Yeah, right. And 50 years older. Here's why you had to work out more, and I'll give you the perfect 2 examples for me are Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose wasn't a weight guy. He wasn't a gym guy. But you come into a facility with 5,500 square foot of the top training equipment and one of the top physical trainers in the country, and all they're trying to do is make your career last longer. Get in the gym, tighten up, look the part a little bit. As we know, Mark Henry doesn't have abs, but he's a big, burly son of a gun. I was a big, burly son of a gun. A-Train was a big, burly son of a gun. But at least they wanted everyone to be in shape. Nobody said, to me, rounds of shape. Just look the part and don't fight. And half the battle was not only did they not want to do it, they didn't want to show up for it. Well, you're getting paid to show up for it. It's not the old school thing where you got signed the developmental and you showed up for an hour and a half, and then the rest of the day you get to go to movies and do whatever you wanted, and you showed up 3 days a week. This was your job now. This is your 5, 6, 7 days a week.
Not only that, Bill, it doesn't matter where you go, whether you go to the Atlanta Falcons or the Indiana Pacers or you go work at Amazon or wherever, every place is going to have their politics, and you're going to have to play by those rules. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The military,
Don't come in like you can't be there 1 month and complain about everything that goes on in that building.
Right.
Get used to it, and then let people get used to you, because when you do, any good coach is going to adjust to that performer, adjust to that talent.
What was the big difference that you saw between like coming out of our era and maybe the wrestlers of today? The biggest differences, maybe how they perceive the business or just their attitudes towards their business, or you know what I'm saying?
I think they perceive it differently. But I also think there's too many options. Doc, we're bringing you in, dog. This is what we have you do. This is what we want you to do. This is going to be your schedule. You had 2 options. Agree to it and do it, or don't do it. Here, okay, well, it comes down to a little bit of entitlement. Well, what would you like? Okay, let's alter that for you. But then as you start to alter for one, you alter for another, and then this generation is a generation of options. There's too many options for them.
It's like you're co-writing the show with the talent in a way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and while it's good for them to have that relationship, it's so much, I feel like a little bit of it's turned around and the hand is in their favor, because you can have an opinion about your storyline, but don't tell somebody you're not going to do it. And then don't go, there's a lot of, like a big foul for us in our day was ride jumping. Here it's just jumping over everybody's head every chance you get. I mean,
right.
And it's a shame because a lot of them come in and go, I love that era and what you guys did then. No, because you didn't learn from that era. This era's option.
What did you think about when they made Kidman in charge of training the Divas?
I giggled. Years later, him and I.
Right, you had to giggle because like everybody hears that the people that ran with Kidman. But back in WCW, like when you feel like, okay, they made him in charge of the training the girls. I'm like, oh, okay, that's. Right. I'm like, all right, I guess it's a great gig for him, right?
Give me the keys to Baskin Robbins and say, just hang out here for a little while, Bill.
Right, right. There's a reason why our little group was called the Filthy Animals.
Right. Yeah.
So, do you watch the product today, Bill?
I do watch it. I watch it in spurts. I don't watch so much SmackDown, mainly because baseball. My boy plays a lot of baseball on Tuesday nights. But we watch I try to watch as much as I can Raw. I've missed a lot of pay-per-views. My network thing expired when I was done with the company, so I figured I'd just save my $9.99 a month I haven't done on the network.
When you're looking at the show, and I've always heard that, oh, well, you know, we've got to check people's egos, and I understand that. And, you know, if they have a big head now, they're going to be harder to deal with in the past. Disco brought up this point, and I concur with him 1,000%. Why does it seem that WWE does a better job of burying wrestlers than making stars? When I see stuff like what they're doing right now with Enzo, or for so long they should have turned Roman Reigns. I mean, what's going on over there?
I don't know. That was always when I was working behind the scenes as a producer. I'd always have my hand up in the meetings and ask why are we doing this, or why is this cat's already proven this way? Why would we do that? And sometimes the answer was people won't remember that. I don't understand the mentality. That's why I'm still not a producer, I guess. But it comes down to, a lot of it comes down to, and this is just my opinion, is that they feel like from week to week, a lot of people don't really care about that stuff anymore. This is where we're going right now. And if whatever we do will make them forget what happened the week before, or for the past 3 months, or for.
Yeah, but if for week to week they don't care, they don't care because you've made them not care. Make them watch the show and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what's your take on Enzo?
Well, no, I just think it's very weird because Enzo came in there with a ton of, like him and Cass, they were super over. They just looked good together and they were shoot friends, your neck of the woods, Jersey, and, and the catchphrases were over and they were over, and then now he got heat. They separated them. And now they're like burying him. They turned him heel with no real reason. And then they had him did you see last week when he had each member of like the heel team repeat a letter of the word soft?
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
They're going to run that out until they've had enough of their fun with him. And then, who knows how much longer he lasts. But half of that's on him, man. Was Enzo there when you were there? Oh, Enzo came from my camps, yeah.
So how was he to deal with? Because he doesn't seem like somebody that likes to do the, play that by the rules.
No, he's a straight Jersey boy. He got hired because he has the gift of gab. That was the thing that was always said. There's something about him, but what is it? Once you get past the gift of gab, what's it going to be? But it never seemed to get past that point. And then it still goes back to, and I know a lot of people disagree with this because, if you don't, I'm a big fan of, you can't believe your own shit.
Right.
It's going to catch up and bite you. And when you're around a bunch of people that are, as you know, you're running 300 days and you got guys and gals that are banging all the time and don't have just promo segments. They're actually out there bumping and making the live events and bumping and doing all these things and making the media. You gotta start slow.